Welcome back to another episode of Music Business Advice. On this channel, we'll be going over a wide range of topics, making your journey from where you are to where you want to be in the music industry just a little bit easier. I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
I don't wanna leave them unsure. I can't be unsure. I wanna feel more. The shit you need is what you should be asking for.
So how we doing today, bro? What's going on?
I'm doing good, bro.
Yes,
doing
sir.
Real good. I really can't complain, man.
This your first time in Double M, right?
Yeah, it's my first time in Double M.
So what's your first opinion? What's your first,
I say my opinion is, bro, is real creative because when you come into a studio most of the time, majority of the time it gives hood fashion. I really just want to appreciate how when you come in, it's neat, smells nice, it's very creative, different rooms, it's different light textures, and I would say different content, and also, not just content, but feeling like home. Walking in from a long day of school and you able to wind down. So I know many rappers or content creators or just creators in general, artists, pen to paper. People come in here and this is where they wind down at. You can definitely tell that everybody around here makes everybody feel like home.
Hell yeah. You introduce yourself. What's your title? What do you introduce yourself as to people?
So my name is Jalen Swan, and I go by SK, by Street Kingdom, but we're going to get to that a little later. But I identify myself as a full-on model, but I'm also a full-time dad, perfect attendance. So that's the first thing I'm going to put on. And I also am a full-time model, and I also do content creations. And I also do commercials as well. So I just want to say that, honestly, I want to say that I'm an earth angel. I do anything that comes for me to do great work.
Wow, that's powerful, bro. What excites you?
Being able to have people respect my vision and respect my craft. Because I never had that growing up, where being in a big family of many of us from different moms, different dads, but we're one big family. But I would say what excites me is having people actually look at my, not just worth, but notoriety. Knowing actually what I can execute and actually wanted me to present something to the world. I love seeing people when they have clothes on that I model and I'm the person that kind of had it first. So it's something that not just, being a model or having it first, but being that guy that somebody can look up to in a certain
real
sense.
influencer.
Yeah.
In the literal sense.
But I would do it for free.
Right. Which makes you a real influencer. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're not even getting paid for it
Yep.
a lot of times, but we'll get to that later, how you are going to get paid and are getting paid for opportunities. But what would you say is the thing you're having the most trouble with right now?
I would say the most trouble with is honestly my mental. And I can honestly be honest about that as a black man. To say my mental, sometimes I'm my worst supporter, but also my biggest star in my own aspect of it. I know I've kind of like Kobe Bryant, like job done, job finished. So even as much as I'm doing an interview right now, like this is something where I'm blessed to have a voice of being in the household feeling small. So being able to have you even do this right now is a dream come true, because I'm gonna look at it tomorrow like job done, job finished. But it's a mental knowing that it's off the checklist.
So when we had conceived of the idea of doing this interview, what were you thinking going into it? Because we know how you feel now.
Yeah, I would say going into it, I kind of was thinking about a book. So I think that anybody who goes and do an interview, that is kind of like a book or maybe a freestyle. Like you can't go in thinking anything. You have to kind of just go with the flow. You have to come in respectable. You have to come in on time. You have to also come in with a clear mind. You have to let everything that you have going on kind of at the front door. So I would say also just my mental of it, I didn't know what to think of it, but I wanted to have something that my son could look at and be like, that's my dad.
Wow. You see, I would have never taken that perspective to it. Obviously, I don't have a son or a kid, but I like what you said about a clear mind. How do you clear your mind?
So honestly, what I've been doing now, I've been taking walks, I've been reading books, I've been honestly breathing more. But the main thing I've been doing is praying. So I'm definitely a firm believer in God. And I honestly sometimes do forget to, because karma is just as real as a blessing. But what I've learned is your fall offs and your not being together or not being able to handle your own or handle what you have going on, it's always gonna be the devil's amusement. So how can you ever get mad at somebody laughing at your story or laughing at what you have going on? But it's kind of like you have to take it a grain of salt with sugar. People are always gonna laugh at your demise. That's what they're supposed to do. So as long as you love yourself, what I'm working on. So I would say I'm working on loving myself. That's truly where it makes me happy. Taking walks and being able to pick my son up from school and know that people are looking at me as SK, but to him, I'm Jalen. I'm Dad. I'm Superman. So it's a lot of characters that I do play into this world, but the one I do love is being a dad.
Hell yeah. What was your identity before your son?
My identity before my son was a crash dummy. I
Wow.
never was able to do a lot of things to work on myself. I kind of was always a follower at times. And it took a very long time to know that with my mom and what my girlfriend was telling me or friends and family, I always felt like I had it. Just because of the amount of money I had or the money or opportunity, but just as much as you can get it, it can be gone. So I was a kid that I always knew where I wanted to be, but it was two reasons where I wasn't there. Either I didn't fully dedicate myself or it just wasn't my time yet. So I had to definitely go through everything I went through now to have the confidence and the urge to want to model, but also work to be a different change. I love that one day I'll be able to go to my son's career day and be like, I'm a model.
Wow.
Like I'm on magazines now, I'm on commercials, I'm on websites, and sometimes I feel like that's just a persona.
Yeah.
Because until somebody actually get a conversation with me, they'll never see change.
That's deep. Interesting. So you are at where you're at now, and when you're talking, you were just talking about, career day. I'm a full-time model. I'm at the top level of what I do because we know you'll get there. I might be slightly out of touch because when I hear you speaking, I believe you. I know you have conviction in what you're saying because I have that conviction in what I'm doing. But I'm thinking someone that might be watching this, we could sound crazy because the frequency we have, that conviction, we have to keep in mind, it's not normal to be doing what we're doing.
It's not, it's abnormal.
Do you see what I'm saying? So speak on that. What has life been like for you dealing with you are pursuing these things and everyone might not understand what you go through and they might think you're not working hard or you're just elaborate on that, please.
Yeah, okay. So I'm actually glad that you asked that question because there's a lot of people who think I'm having fun. But of course I'm having fun,
Right.
Pictures, pretty faces, opportunities, release parties,
Right. Nightlife.
content,
Yes.
nightlife, also being a model, also the opportunities,
Putting shit on.
brand ambassadors. But all of that has, truly nothing to do because there's a lot of people in the DMV area that gatekeep and also are not willing to throw an alley-oop to give to somebody. So what I say is you're only as strong as your weakest soldier. So I know that you don't need a whole team, but you maybe need a few people in your corner and able to keep you grounded. So my struggle and with me coming a model with people being like, well, how did he get there? I honestly would say that I believed in myself and I had people around me that kept me grounded. And that was my man Cruddy, my man CR, my barber, that was my man Ant, that was my man Kevin. So I had a little fake tribe. I never really had my mom and my dad when it came to support, but to any black kid that's thinking this right now and looking at me, you can do the same thing as me because I changed my life around in 48 hours. Rome wasn't built in a day, but I bet you they had a blueprint of how it was going to be built. So I don't gatekeep. If you want an opportunity, if you want to meet me, you want to do a TikTok, you want to do a reel, even if you want some help, I don't know what's going on because I don't know God's plan. But all I can tell you is I believe in you more than anybody else. So I truly believe in that. With the DMV, if we all come together, we'd be great. There's no reason that Atlanta and Cali or other states are coming together as one only for black violence when we're doing content. We're doing stuff that people are getting paid for, sitting on the couch.
Literally. What would be your message to your younger self, 18-year-old you?
You know something? When I was 18, I thought I had the world on my shoulders. I was working a job. I was scamming. I was not the man that I think I was now. I wasn't a trying man. So a message to my younger self would be in the pursuit of happiness. And this is something I've truly been working on. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't do something. Not even me. And that's something that I'm working on now, where even if you don't have the initial support, it's a DC Young Fly thing as well. He came in, he said you have to go into the kitchen and you got to keep cooking and cooking. And sometimes you might not have a plate, but you still got to cook. So a message to my younger self is, don't think that money or fame and position is going to make you become a better man. So the opportunity of being a model and being able to show legal money and legal opportunity, sometimes it does, may not pay the bills when it needs to get done, but eventually it will pay off. So I want to tell myself to stay patient.
Patience. Do you feel like you are, if you could do like a percentage of 100% is like where you want to be as far as patience, and 0 is no patience, where do you feel like you're at right now?
Where do I feel like I'm at right now?
Yeah.
I would give myself a solid about 60%. But there's also times where I'm not comfortable. And I put myself in situations to feel uncomfortable. But there's also stuff that comes out of my hand that I'm not also able to work on. So what's for me is for me, and what's not for me. And I have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So I try to sink in as much as knowledge as possible.
What does that look like for you, taking in knowledge? Where do you go for that?
I would say going to that, I would honestly call my man Cruddy, or my grandma actually gave me a daily bread book. So to people who do not know what that is, it's a book that they have for a month and a day, where if you flip it open, it gives you a daily scripture. And it also lets you know that the past is yesterday and today's is today. So without that book, my grandma highlighted it. It's everything. And it's something that she left me behind that I'm able to see and work on. So I would say that if I didn't have that daily bread book, I probably wouldn't be the man that I am today.
What are your principles? What do you stand on?
I live by Rule 1 Survive. I also have that tatted on the back of my neck, actually. Rule 1 Survive.
Yeah.
I also live by 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. And I want to say something that my mom used to always tell me is, nobody's going to love you until you love yourself. And also, if you're going to do something, do it 100%. And I learned that from it's this little, I don't remember what it's called, but it was like, when you eat, you eat. And when you smile, you smile. But one thing I live by is, be where your 2 feet are. Be where your 2 feet are. Do not bring what you have going on. I can have a long day at work, and I know that my son doesn't even know about what I'm going through. Even as being a model, even with my job, even with being SK. Be where your 2 feet are.
Let's talk about what you just said. Your son doesn't know what you're going through. Elaborate on that. What do you mean by that?
Being a kid, staying a kid. So my son's 5 years old, and he's my broke best friend. Like, this is some Degrassi, victorious. His name's Carter. Carter, if you watching this later on, man, just know I loved you and I did my best. And I promise you that I tried to break the cycle and everything I had going on. So mentally, what that would be is, work, family, sometimes maybe depression, sometimes maybe the music's not right. Sometimes maybe the day just didn't go as possible. But sometimes he makes me feel like Clark Kent, because at the end of the day, he was Superman. And he was able to beat Clark Kent. And the way he was treated, like Peter Parker, they're personas. They're always, kind of like wipe your shoes, like wipe on. So I always loved comic books. So I would say that getting to be a different persona. My son doesn't get to see me be Clark Kent. He gets to see me be Superman every day. I love that.
Wow.
They don't get to see what I go through.
How I could tell you really are proud, to be a father. I can see the energy, You know, the way your eyes light up when you're talking about it, bro. You know, it's very admirable. I want to give you your flowers for that. That's very respectable. I don't see a lot of men that look like you and me wear that on their sleeve, like damn near like even when you introduce yourself, I'm a father first before you get into your branding and all the stuff we're doing in the Matrix. Nah, like I'm a father first. You know what I mean? So I just had to get that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, very, very, very admirable. Moving on. What are you looking forward to in the near future?
Well, I'm actually booked for SneakerCon in New York. So I have that in a couple weeks. I also have rehearsals for DC Fashion Week coming up.
Nice.
I have that coming up as well. Shout out to Ian, Mr. DC Ian. And also my son just started school, so I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
But honestly, more so about me, what I'm looking forward to, honestly, the longevity of a model, because I don't know. I can't grasp what's going to happen, but I manifestation this, and it's this pink car theory that I live by. Okay. I tell myself every day I'm going to see a pink car. And my girlfriend or my mom or somebody I'm dealing with or anybody now, I tell everybody about this pink car theory. And they be like, I saw a pink car today. And it's kind of manifestation about it. So where I'm going to be at, I know that if I didn't get booked or if I didn't have this or this or this, when I see a pink car, that's my, like, you're still on track. Keep going, Jalen. Keep going, SK.
Right.
So
I like what you're saying with this pink car theory. Is that the similar thing? Is that similar to like the angel numbers? That's your version of that.
Yes.
The synchronicity. So for anyone watching this right now, if anything that he just said or I said stood out to you, you're on the right path. 100%. And if you don't know what the fuck we're talking about, you need to do some more, thinking and really question the path you're on in life. Because if you're really a chosen one, if you're really doing what you should be doing, that would stand out to you. But continue. Let's elaborate more on manifestation and what is it that you desire.
I would say what I desire, what fully is. So outside of the modeling and outside of being a full-time dad and also a content creator, I would say my goal is SK, Street Kingdom. So my initial goal is I'm going to start a nonprofit organization. And this isn't to start a nonprofit organization. Street Kingdom is bigger than me, and I have friends, I have family, we all come together. So it's going to be a big sister and big brother program where I'm going to have 10 people, and we're going to be working with kids, and it only costs $175 to run a movie theater. So we have so many people who go and rent these events and they book a UFC fight or they book an NFL thing. Like, let's go more into our community. Let's go and take 10 kids to go see the newest movie that just came out, because there's so much in the hood or in poverty. And if you have watched Shark Tale, there's whale poop and then there's you.
Yeah.
So there's so much of these things that they put people on and they just have you fall into line, fall into system. So let's give these kids a different opportunity than what we had. We always said, like, we always see the homeless man on the side of the street, but you know that they're there, and they sometimes just want you to speak to let them know that they're not invisible.
Right.
But there's so many people that just...
Yeah. But why do you think people do that, though?
Feeling like they have the same 24 hours as us. Feeling like, but it's kind of hard for homeless people or some kids who have grown up in the system. Like, when I had got into my trouble, I went and volunteered at Sarah's house. It's actually at Fort Meade. And I was helping kids with their homework and learning a lot more. And I saw somebody I actually went to school with there. And I kept that to myself. And it just made me know that my situation and what I'm going through. And this is somebody where we had the same shoes, had the same opportunity. We would fly together. We smoked weed together. But he never told me that he lived in a shelter. And I never brought it up to him. So it was something that it made me think bigger. Now being a model and going through what I went through, I would love to start a nonprofit organization for kids and give back to school events and summer programs and camping trips and trap Disney World. But I gotta put my sand in the foot in order to get people to know where I want.
So you just mentioned SK, Street Kingdom. What does that mean? What's the meaning behind that?
So Street Kingdom means to me, and also what I lived by was I had a lot of friends and people where we were always outside together, and we always had the street lights tell us to come on, but we always were outside, and we could be having a lot more at home that could provide for us, whether it was food, water, electricity, the game. But we always wanted to be outside as if it was Monopoly. We're building forts outside. We're playing manhunt. We're going outside. So the streets was our kingdom. So kids used to be outside till 11, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock at night in the morning. Now kids can't do that right now. They have to be on curfew or 7 o'clock. So let's clean up the streets and make it our kingdom again.
Clean up the streets and make it our kingdom again. Can you use different words for someone like me that's not from the streets and doesn't understand exactly what you mean by that?
So with cleaning up the streets and making it our kingdom again, giving back. So there shouldn't be certain counties or certain places in our area or any area that people are able to go to. It should not be where a racial card or a financial base stops you from doing something as a child. I hate when, you know, a kid can go by and they may have a quarter in their pocket and the kid just might want to get on the merry-go-round and they'll just walk past. Let's give back to our children, to these things, instead of commenting on these posts where 16-year-olds are shooting up malls and doing stuff and we're just talking about them, but it's the direction that they went in that somebody could have talked to that young man. He had a bad day and nobody asked him about his day. But we always talk about the narrative of it and the parents and this, but it starts right there as a child.
Wow. That's heavy, bro. That's very heavy. Like, I'm very, after this interview, I'm very personally, like, fuck whoever's watching this, I'm like, inspired.
Yeah, nah, for real. Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
hold on. Nah, for real. Fuck who watching this, bro. It don't matter who watched this joint, bro. This right here,
know.
Anybody who ever watched me, anybody who ever watched this podcast, anybody who ever watches any YouTube videos, anybody who ever gets up and just clicks, likes, comments, share, you're the reason for why we're doing this. And it's not even a reason for why we're doing this. This has already been written in stone. We just finally picked up the pencil and didn't choose the eraser this time. So I apologize for cutting you off. But
yeah, bro. Thing, bro. Like, listen, I'm inspired now to move even more intention and purpose than I already was hearing your perspective. I don't hear enough people that come from your walk of life speak with the conviction and light that you do. You know what I mean? And I'm here to support however I can. You know what I mean? I really mean that.
I genuinely like that, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
No, for real. I genuinely like that, bro.
Hell yeah. Because I know you really mean it.
Genuinely mean it.
You know what I mean?
Because
you can't fake that, you know? So, yeah, bro. You got
I
me
would
as
say,
a supporter.
If anybody who does not know me and this, you can see me at any social media at BABYSK, Baby SK. But my name is Jalen Swan, just like the bird. SWANN. And eventually we're gonna trade, we're gonna LLC that, we're gonna get that in the marks. But this is my very first interview ever. So many, man. This is the first time anything, bro. Anything you ever need from me, anything, man. Cause you can make me cry, bro. This was an opportunity for so much, bro. My mom, my dad, my family. I just thank you for appreciating me right now, because sometimes you never get that from something.
Bro, listen.
That makes sense.
I know exactly what you mean. And you see, this is why I love what I do, and being a good communicator, I really wear it on my sleeve, because what you learn is that someone like you that comes from one walk of life and me that comes from a whole nother walk of life, that is something that me, you, and hella people that are watching this have in common. Is a lot of us black men and black women, we don't hear words of affirmation. We don't get reassurance. We don't get acknowledged sometimes for being who we actually are. People only see a shell of us or a projection of us. That's actually what I'm going through right now. You know what I mean? We're all going through it. And that's my point, is as much as you gone through and are going through now, it's still a whole world of people that are also going through the same thing. And sometimes we're so in our head, we forget that if you would just take a step back and talk to someone, really try to see where their head's at, you'll realize you're not fucking alone.
Yeah, 100%. I think everybody tries to wear. See, I live by this thing where turn that frown upside down. I know it kind of sounds crazy, but what you're saying is God sent, and it's actually concrete, written in stone.
Yeah.
Pyramid. So this is something where when you writing something down, call it a pyramid, because in Egypt you can't even put a piece of paper through that.
Yeah.
So it's set in stone. So for you to even know that sometimes that you may not get the applause,
Right.
it's a difference between a round of applause and also this. It's a big ass difference when it comes to round of applause and watch who you have around you, because you can be somewhere where it does not fulfill you, and you're pushing and you're pushing, you're pushing, and sometimes all you need is that I'm proud of you, and you're steady maybe pushing that. You may never get it, and that may be the reason why you never achieve your dream, because you're looking for someone to believe in you and loving you. So I just want to tell you that I'm proud of you, and
Bro,
you need that.
listen,
Serious.
I really do need that, bro,
Yeah,
because
proud of you.
hell yeah, man. Because, you know, that's something I can only speak for me, bro. The past 5, 6, 7, 8 years that I've been working at this stuff, like, that's really been a thing. And it's deep because everyone that does what we do, they think they're hardworking, right? But there's different types of work and hard work. The hard work that I do is spiritual. It's not just physical tasks, implementation. It's not just mental
Yeah.
burdens. It is spiritual, bro. And a lot of the people that either come in through this space or other spaces that I go through, I don't think that they understand how badly I want structure, abundance, health for all of us, bro. This is not just for me.
Yeah, and it's actually beautiful that you said that, because there's a lot of people who think that they can't be an elevator or stairs to people. So you as a black man, you as a human being saying that, that's exactly what Street Kingdom is about, where it's you have to be willing to do something other than your body. What is your legacy? What are you going to leave by? It seems to me that, and this is God forbid that, but if you were to go today, that you have written a plan, something to leave, that you can be that excel.
Yeah.
For you left something behind, no matter what, no matter the amount of money, no matter the amount of time, supporters, or even the opportunity or travel time. You know that you put the puzzle pieces that didn't even work and you glued them together. So I commend you for that.
Hell yeah, bro. Like, I think it's like your strength is also a lot of times your weakness or curse. You know what I mean? And I think it's that I put a lot of expectation or pressure on manifesting the reality that I'm holding in the front of my brain. And that reality is what we're doing now, and that continuous elevation and rewriting history damn near.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not a make $100K, make $1 million. That's so simple. That's a simple box to check off, bro. But the shit I'm thinking about is sometimes even stuff that you can't even quantify. You can't always see it. But what I'm learning, shout out to Bees, our CEO, is my mental struggle is that I can't always see my impact. And for every conversation I have like this, it's maybe 100 people that I'm actually affecting, and they don't say anything. And it fucks with me.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing that I shouldn't be even expecting or looking for them to tell me that I'm making a difference. But I sometimes I need to hear that.
I need to hear those words of affirmation that you love me, that I'm doing what I am doing,
or that I'm helping in some way.
Yes.
Let me know, because sometimes I don't feel like it's working, and it make me want to say fuck all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I've had my days.
You feel me?
Yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah, bro, like real shit, man. Like I know for me, giving flowers, I know how important that is because I need that shit.
Yeah.
So it baffles me that people, and let's just be clear, someone that's watching this right now, you see everything I do, you're around me, but you choose to consciously not say anything.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of you know that you should, and you know you want to. Not even that you should, you know you want to. But what is it in you or about you that doesn't want to support? Because ultimately, you supporting someone like me only benefits you, if we're going to be real.
Hey,
you
bro,
see what I'm saying?
Hey, you almost made me run a mile.
You see what I'm saying?
That was surreal right there. And it's kind of crazy that people actually go through that the same way you do, because there's a lot into it where you have to be your biggest supporter. And it's hard to do that when you are helping 200 people, or you are throwing alley-oops, or you are being that person to do those things. And you're not able to see that because nobody just wants to give you a simple thank you.
Well, I see you.
You know? I see you. You're not a ghost. I see you. I hear you.
You know?
So I definitely have been affected with that as well, with feeling like I do 1,000,001 things and I'm doing a push-up and I got 10 people on my back and I can't even do it. But all I've truly wanted to do, where come home from a long day and just get a kiss, or come home from a long day and just be appreciated. Yeah. There's a lot of people also who watch my page. I get over 1,000 views on my stuff and maybe 300, 400, 500 people, but my own friends, strangers support me. This man right here, dude, does like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I go through. A lot of stuff. Also you as well. To also say that you see where you are going to be manifestation wise. And it seems as though that people are willing to go pay Chick-fil-A, but now they're willing to listen to a black man's story.
You know? And it gets even deeper, right? Because I was talking to my dad. We went out to Silver Diner earlier, and we're talking about, you know, some of his business ideas. He's in the real estate field. And I'm realizing that my dad is in his 60s. I'm 25 years old, but I'm giving him really game and advice on how he can improve what he has going on. And this is not to shit on my dad, because I can't shit on my dad. It's not possible. Without him, I'm nothing. But it's me realizing the power and the wisdom I have intuitively. Yeah. Not in a matrix sense of the world that, you know, white supremacy and capital. No, like just from a straight intuition. Laws of the universe, like we talked about that first time. I understand just what feels right and what actually works. What we're doing right now is what ends up connecting and actually making a difference. There's no business that I could run that would make me feel right or feel good doing. Or, you know, this is the only thing that feels right to me. I can't do anything else. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
And to literally be like that is where, even if you weren't getting paid for it, it's just a saying where your parents can look at you from being 14 to 16 or 18. Or even if any child or any man or any woman watching this, you could be at any age and somebody could be thinking that you're not working, or you're not going to work, or you're not getting a job, but you're doing what you love to do, you're just not getting paid for it. So it's going to take time. It's going to take that foot in the sand. And like the age group, like you said, with your father, with you being 25 and him being, you know, 60 or over 60, that's him acknowledging what the seed that he planted and it grew. So truthfully, you can never be dirty because you already arose.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to piggyback off what you're saying with you're not getting paid yet. This is also what me and my dad were talking about. There's 5 types of abundance. Money and currency is only one. You also have synchronicity, which is what happened today. Stunner being here right now. Nas pulling up earlier.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You got money shot in the building, you know what's going on.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's synchronicity. That's also another form of abundance. Okay? Connections, relationships, that's all synchronicity. And that's one of my biggest currencies or
Mm-hmm.
forms of abundance. It's not money. But guess what I'm learning now is that over time, you build up so much social capital, social
That's
currency.
the money.
That's just the money.
Hey.
You don't even need the money.
Yeah.
Real shit. And that's only 2 out of 5. You also have gifts, merch, clothes, getting free access to events,
Yeah.
gifts. That's just as valuable as the first 2.
You don't have to. I don't sit in the line no more. And it's not to like piggyback or toot on my own
but
horns.
it's
Like,
just
it
it's
ain't
just
nothing like
abundance.
that,
It's just true.
But now when I go places, I get SK with a guest list, and it's absurd that people look at me for who I am because, like I said, I'm a father. I work a job, so there's so many things where I'm still using my first name to work towards something that I know is going to come. So, exactly what you are saying when it comes to having gifts or things where I can show people what I'm actually doing, the change. I'm not a scammer no more. I'm not a drug dealer no more. I'm not a stick-up kid or doing the dumbest stuff that I used to do as a child thinking that it was cool.
Right.
Trying to live GTA on more lives when I only got one. You know, all you had to do was follow the train, CJ.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's 3 out of 5. You know, we have imagination. That's another form of abundance. Your ability to just see what's possible, have conviction, have faith. That's what allows for us to be here right now.
Yeah.
That's what leads to more abundance, is you just believing that it's there.
Manifestation.
Manifestation.
Writing stuff down.
Exactly.
I've also been writing stuff down a lot more. So I definitely believe with that as well, like pink card theory.
Yes.
But I also would say that I love that you have a conversation with your father and you're able to, him being the age, and he's not looking at it as, there's most fathers
a lot of them.
who are listening to me. I know what's right. I know what's going on. So your dad giving you a voice and giving you an opportunity to him to listen to you and learn from you to see how today's society is going.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
100%. And I think that I need to work on not taking that for granted more.
100%.
Days like today really show me that. You know.
He actually listened to you. So that's actually a great opportunity that your dad is like, you know what? That's right.
Yeah. And that he respects my opinion.
Definitely, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Respect is, especially from a father and a parent's perspective.
Yeah.
I know that is golden. That's golden to have someone at that age knowing your work and not dumbing it down to you need to get up and do more, or college or a job. He sees your worth.
Yeah.
He sees that you're alive. He can take off the glasses and still see you. Ray Charles can see your worth. And I think that's what parents sometimes install in their kids, where if you just have confidence, you'll blow out of water. So I love that your dad gave you the confidence and whoever else, you know, poured that gasoline into you to get the fuel that you're doing now.
Hell yeah, bro. We got 1, 2, 3. The next one is trading and bartering. So, for example, we are doing an interview right now. You are getting a platform, more or less, but then you're also getting your ability using my communication skills to tell your story.
Yeah.
Right? Now that paints you in a different light, right? As opposed to you just setting up a camera and saying this. You have the official interview setup and someone that takes pride in what they do to help carry out that process. So that's another form where you have the brand SK, someone has clothes, they give you free clothes, you promote the brand. That's another
That's actually
form.
what I got on right now, actually.
Exactly.
So actually what I got on right now is street skate, the pants, and the hoodie. Pants and the hoodie.
Yeah.
So definitely when it comes to that, and this is also who I'm booked with for SneakerCon, you're going to see a lot more with this. Y'all going to see a lot more of this. And shout out to my barber. Shout out to my barber. Because if it wasn't for him, I would not be here. At this point, I'm about to put his name on my phone as a magician. Because he's the man with the plan. And also, I want to shout out my girlfriend, but I also want to shout out my mom. And I want to shout out my mom because, you know, we bump heads a lot and we kind of never see eye to eye, but I know she believes in me as much as she sees she do. I hope she bookmarking and scrapping everything going on. So I send my mom everything I do, and I may not get a response, but I hope one day, you know, looking back on if she's on, you know, her deathbed or something going on, she kind of photographed my life like the Notebook, looking back at everything going on, and I'm showing her my model book of everything I've done, trying to get her to remember me. If that makes sense. So
it does make sense.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Those are the forms of abundance. Hopefully I didn't leave one out. But yeah, man, it's just I bring that up to show people that it's not money. Money is what follows the mindset. You know what I mean? And this is probably the last thing I'll say, you know, before we finish out with you, is that your circumstances don't matter, bro. It's your state of mind. It's your state of being. Your state of being, the way you think, is what allows for your circumstances to change. You can't expect anything to change if you don't change your mindset. So that's been just very omnipresent in my life. Us talking right now, all the stuff that I'm working on, me just making it from where I started to now. It all starts with a vision and just having faith and acting on it. And I know that's the same thing for you. And, you know, to anyone watching this, it's like, if you're inspired by SK, if you're inspired by, you know, any of the artists that come through Double M or me, like, that's what is allowing for you to look at us this way, is just having that faith and executing on your vision like your life depends on it. You feel me?
Yeah.
There's no secret. That's the secret, you know. It's just not giving yourself any other option, really. But
no, I love that you actually said that, because I'm in a situation right now where with my modeling journey, anybody watching this, I die for this. So you're going to see SK in anything, in everything.
No, for real.
You're going to see me in everything.
Yeah.
So no matter what, I'm just like the bowling guy who did 1 million strikes. I don't care if you like, comment, or subscribe, but you watched.
Hell yeah.
So it's just like somebody tagging me, as if, like, the biggest things that happen now is rappers that get, you know, chains took or jewelry took, and they get more content now. Like, shout out to, you know, Rich Homie Quan, rest in peace to that man. You know, depression, a lot is going on, but he only had about 1.2 followers, and now he has over 10 million followers. So we have to love our people while we're here now, and also me giving you your flowers, and also Double M for having me. Like, we have to support the people that are here now and not piggyback off them later on. So I want to give a special shout out to Stun, a special shout out to Money Shot, special shout out to my Bible. Once again, my Bible. Because if I didn't have you, the magician, we would not be here. I also want to give a shout out to my mom for having me, my dad, also you, also Zip.
Shout out to
Zip.
Shout out Zip.
If Zip, hey, like my man Money Shot said earlier, I should have called you early. I should have called you early. So I hope, bro, you see this, bro. You right here in spirit with me, bro. My brother, man. My brother in the hospital. Shout out to him, bro. Free trade. You know, there's a lot of people that I love, and I want them to see the journey of what we have going on. I would love for them to meet Double M Studios and also meet the opportunities, and for people to come together with hands up, but with a phone and not a gun. So.
Yeah, bro. I think that's a great place to end.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
That's all right.